Duke smoked Louisville last night. Way to go. Then the real news hit, the real challenge hit, which we'll get to in a second. Duke bounced back from a tough loss to Wake. That's all you could ask for. That's why Louisville is there. Is like, hey, that last one seemed tough. You want one that's much easier? Here you go. Somehow I got caught up last night, as I often do, in a wormhole on the internet. I was down onto Louisville Twitter of just flabbergasted Louisville fans.
Wow.
Just they would record off their television like a full possession, and the caption would just be like, "What is the goal here?" Because it would be Louisville with, 6 guys guarding. And so how do you have 6 on the floor? 6 guys guarding Kyle Filipowski and no one guarding Jared McCain. And they'd just be like, is this the plan? There was one guy that jumped for a pump fake on Tyrese Proctor, and which sounds normal, right? Jumping for a pump fake on a starting guard, until you realize the pump fake was in the backcourt and there was no reason to jump. Louisville was a free bingo square for Duke last night. All right, you just get one. Here you go. Jon Scheyer talked after the game about bouncing back from the loss to Wake.
It's a good win. I thought we had we were a little, not a little bit, but we were sloppy with the ball at different stretches. Besides that, 23 assists, 43 rebounds, 13 offensive. I thought our defense was terrific in the first half, besides giving up some transition. Really did a good job making them play in the half court. That's a good step for us. It's great to get our 22nd win, 13th conference win, and we have to move on quickly to get ready for Saturday.
Only against the team at the bottom of the conference do you go sloppy with the ball, didn't really protect it for long stretches. Great win, played great. Look at all these awesome stats. Against the good teams, sloppy with the ball, didn't control it for long stretches, becomes the reason why you're either in a close one down the stretch or the reason why you lose.
Yeah, we lost by 12.
Yeah. So, hey, we shot the ball pretty well. We just didn't protect the ball, and that's going to regret and haunt us forever because it cost us the game. Instead, against Louisville, it's hey, you know what? We didn't protect the ball, but, 22nd win, 13th conference win. Yeah, how does that sound? Pretty good. Kyle Filipowski played. He looked healthy, which obviously, I don't know how to phrase this. I have it in my notes as the world was concerned about his injury after the court storming deal, but I don't think the world was actually concerned because a lot of the world was just kind of poking fun at the whole situation. So everyone was aware of Kyle Filipowski's potential injury after the court storming situation. The fact that Filipowski was back, looked healthy, that's a good thing for the Duke Blue Devils. Here's Scheyer on flip.
Yeah, he did a good job. He's just been really poised, steady, competitive. And, to have a guy like Kyle, like he's going to be a high draft pick, and he's already scored over 1,000 points, and he's done some amazing things. He is a guy that is not caught up in stats. And when you have a guy who's your leading scorer and been really the number one guy in a scouting report for 2 years, where he's just all about winning, it's really contagious.
That's all the good news. You won. You bounced back from Wake. Good play from certain players. Filipowski looked healthy. That's the good. You want to get to the real challenge now? Caleb Foster. In a boot, on a scooter, and Jon Scheyer's heart hurts for him. Here's Scheyer talking about playing without Caleb Foster.
Caleb is such a steadying force for us, and he just makes everybody so much better on the court. And, we looked at a couple different lineups today. I thought the guys off the bench did a really good job giving energy, providing defense, and, playing their roles to the best that they could. And, Sean, TJ, just for them to get some more game experience, we need those guys, man. And I was happy with what they did. Ryan is going to be Ryan. You can depend on him.
That right there is the story for the rest of the season for Duke. It's going to be some time, they don't know how much time, week to week for Caleb Foster out with a lower leg injury. That's the story for the rest of the season for Duke. How do they overcome not having one of the 6 guys that they trusted to be in their main rotation? And When does he come back? Do they rush him back? Do they not rush him back? What's his role when he comes back? How does Sean Stewart and or TJ Power and or Ryan Young play now that one of them at least is going to have to be a bigger part of the rotation? And we're not talking about just games like Louisville. We're talking about games like UNC. We're talking about games like the ACC tournament, right? Sean Stewart is fascinating to me. Sean Stewart might be the best athlete, pure, like if we were to the NFL Combine's going on right now. If we were to put the Duke basketball team through the Combine, right? If we were to put the Duke basketball team through some level of Combine, I'm not sure Sean Stewart's not the most impressive. And if you need rim protection or something, I don't think it's bad for him to get some reps out there. That being said, you don't want to be forced to be getting him reps when the season's on the line.
Well, it was good to get those minutes yesterday. It was valuable.
Louisville was the last time to catch your breath.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you'd be gearing up for an extended period, perhaps with Caleb Foster not playing. But when he was on the sideline in the boot, and not just in the boot, like wasn't a walking boot, which sometimes you get just to, speed up the healing process, but then on the scooter so he couldn't put any weight on it, you start to get like, ooh, how's this going to play out? Where does Jon Scheyer turn? And how do you, it's the Moneyball thing, right? You're not just replacing a person. You're not just replacing, one single star or contributor. You're replacing all of the things that he does. And I thought it was interesting that Jon Scheyer, in that clip we just played, the first thing he mentioned about Caleb Foster was his steadying presence. There were times this year where he was coming off the bench, right? The starting five actually was what it was last night, with Proctor being in the starting lineup and Foster coming off the bench. And I would notice that when Caleb Foster would come off the bench sometimes, whether it was with his aggressive offense or just his presence, it would be like if they didn't get off to a good start, he could go in and kind of give them a jump, right? He could be the ER television show people with the clear, bam, give them that little jolt. And who takes that role, right? It's not just replacing Caleb Foster, who's a guard that can handle if you need a ball handler, if they're forcing Roach to give it up or Proctor to give it up, not just a guy that can knock down jumpers, a twitchy athlete on the perimeter, but also from a social standpoint, from a team chemistry standpoint. You have to replace all of that. And then also be prepared to wrench it back in the other direction and go back to where you were if and when he's back and healthy from the injury. It's really two major swings. The first is him being gone, and then assuming it's not a season-ending injury, at some point in a very crucial part of the season, you're going to have to bring him back. And that is all the story for Duke basketball now. And as we said yesterday, they knew it was coming, or they knew it was the risk, not that it was coming. That when you limit your rotation to 6 guys, you are saying to anybody that's paying attention, we are one injury away from a big change. Big change. And now they have to do it.